Back on the road we go. Ooh, snake. Should be pretty happy in. We have the poison resistance, and we're going to be faster than I think even hasted Naga. So that should be a fairly decent branch for us to explore. You know, minus the fact that a guardian serpent can come in and ruin our whole career, but these things happen. I think if we put out some briar hedges, then we can't be surrounded. I think they count as pseudo-terrain for something like the guardian serpent, though I could be wrong. And there we go. Now's our opportunity to start clearing out some of those dex rings. I'm tempted to actually drop both. I don't know. I must have other garbage here, right? Right. We did say, not you, darts, but stones can go, and you know, we'll keep it there for now. We'll take this one drop at a time as needs must. And let's just finish off the rest of the floor here, shall we? Not too bad. Holy moly. That's the thing, is I'm acting like I'm shocked that we're playing especially close to the red line, but we are Spriggan. This is going to be the whole game. It's not going to get better, because pretty much at any point a single bad roll can change us from top of the world, nothing can touch me, I am invincible in my own skin, to oh gosh, everything is crumbling, it's all over, help me, help me. So, you know, keeping that in mind, just stay positive, I guess. Keep the optimism coming. As long as we can keep that in the back of our mind, though, it is a natural, kind of innate resist hubris that a lot of the squishier species have, so hopefully we can keep that slightly more positive spin on our scenario going. Hello, my oak globe friend. I do love having friendly plants. Most of the time completely inconsequential. Every once in a while, though, you see a fun interaction like the sleep shrooms and the oak globes. Can feel good about ourselves. Fantastic. So Hydra is 18 damage. So 4 times 18 is 72. A 4-headed Hydra could kill me if I get unlucky. Kill me in one turn, I should say. Is that... Am I doing my math right there? 40 plus 32. Ah, well, not going to think too hard about it. I very recently was doing simple addition, and I just flubbed the whole thing. It was embarrassingly bad. I think I was off by like 1,000 somehow, adding in some random digits. So, not going to be too trusting of my mental math at this point in time. I think that's fair to say. 4 plus 32, yeah? Oh my gosh. Actually got it. Holy moly. Thanks, Yuki, for the contribution to the Cult of Bath Cow. Appreciate it. But okie dokie, we've hit our invo limit here. So where do we wish to go? I'm almost might as well train some evocations. Again, take advantage of the collection of wands that we've managed to garner up until this stage. Plus, you know, a +3 aptitude. Doesn't hurt. That should hit 12 in almost no time. And then otherwise, I might turn on fighting for a bit of additional health. And you know, it's probably worth it to actually train just a bit of stealth. +5 aptitude to 5 at this point in the run should just almost hit immediately. Already went up to 2 from, I think it was at 1.5, right? So that's not too shabby. Let's just stand in the middle of the room firing off infinite shells. Oh, very scary all of a sudden though. Chances for you to hit me, my friend. 7%. Still kind of too much. So, turns out I've made a horrible error in judgment. Whoops. Shocker, I know. But next time around, let's try to take that lesson into account and surround ourselves with a briar patch You know, I say as I'm kind of just falling into the same thing, but there we go. This time around, we learn from our mistakes. We trap the shark in a hedge maze of its own doing there, and much, much better. Great sword is completely useless, seeing as how we can't even use that son of a gun. And now, do I want more resist fire as a potential option? I mean, I probably do, no? What? I think boomerangs can maybe go. There's probably better stuff. I'm probably carrying around all sorts of useless garbage. But I cannot be bothered at this stage to really look through. And at the end of the day, probably not going to use those boomerangs at all regardless. So no great loss. And we can just finish off the rest of Lair 4. Holy cow. Yeah, we're done Lair. How about that? Well, what do we wish to do now? We could potentially explore Lair 5. I know normally I don't really like to do so immediately, but as long as everything is of a, manageable movement speed, not really going to have too much of a problem there. Also just noticing our title, Leif the Mark Spriggan. Mark Spriggan definitely doesn't roll off the tongue very smoothly. Ooh, definitely don't want to go to slime. Okay, I will Briar Patch even against just the polar bear. Let's learn from our lapses in judgment here and just take some of these sons of guns on a lovely little adventure, lovely little hike here. Mark the Leif Spriggan, now that's more like it. Except Mark has all sorts of negative connotations in the game. You're just making me think I'm a victim of some dungeon malfeasance. But there we go. We do manage to clear most of the way through all of our new friends. Hello, hello. And there we go. See, that's a bit more how I expect the polar bear encounters to go. Which is bad, now that I've had one successful one. Any good habits that I may have been inclining myself towards have completely vacated my brain, and instead I'm just back to full confidence. Things have never been better and will never be worse. What a world we live in. Okie dokie. Stream Sheep also a bit of a potential sore spot for us here. I can maybe dip into this slightly safer area. Definitely should have played a little bit more cautiously against the Hornet there. Don't have our poison resistance on right now, and a paralysis would have had me just murdered on the spot. But hey, that's fine, I guess. Let's try to injure you a wee bit, and if I can stand on the stairwell for the last one, and then just get out of there as soon as it even starts to look the tiniest bit compromising. Beautiful. Boomerangs, no thank you. Probably shouldn't have even put you on my auto pickup list, but what can I say? Old habits die hard. Sky Shark. Oh, you're not fast until you're in a blood frenzy. Oh, my poor multi-finned friend. I hate to break it to you, but this is not gonna go in your favor unless I'm an idiot. Which again, no promises, but we're gonna hope that we can reliably see just such an occasion, shall we? Oh, and now the wolf might cause a small hiccup in our plans here overall. You also see that sling, so we will very likely try to, or not sling, buckler shield, sorry. So we can definitely try to use that since it is usable with our sling, or at least I think so. I'm worried that our tiny stature is gonna potentially make that untrue. But let's take a peek, shall we? And I guess actually Ring of Willpower we can definitely drop since we have our incredible artifact, and with that we're already at 4 pips. Of course, Spriggans also have a super high natural willpower. Okay. Yeah, shield doesn't hurt. Don't mind if I do. We'll train it just a bit. -3 aptitude is going to be a bit of a pain here, but shouldn't be anything we can't handle. And at what point do I run away? Especially with that dream sheep encroaching on our territory. There we go. Quite a bit safe. Make sure we can heal up and get that poison out of our system, and that is just fantastic stuff. Ooh, and a resist electricity robe. Is that worth it on its own? I mean, probably not. I guess we also picked up the troll leather armor, and I just never got around to changing into it. Lose 1 AC, but get a bunch of regen. Does affect our attack speed just a wee bit here. Maybe I train a bit of armor as well, just fighting all of our terrible aptitudes here at the moment. And this time around, gonna play it a little bit more intelligently against the Hornet. Just make sure we have our poison resistance up so we don't have to worry about that as a potential reality. And that is beautiful. We'll also very gladly reimburse our Scroll of Fear, and it's looking like we'll actually just be finishing the floor here. I mean, who knows? Some terrible things could still happen. Wouldn't be the first, wouldn't be the last, but ideally we can just kind of blitz our way through the remainder of our elephant friends. Thank you. And that is just about it, but glad we stuck around. Okay, acquirement for gold dragon scales. No shot can I use those to any decent capacity here, right? With 10 strength? I mean, I almost want to pick them up. They at least give me 3 strength, so yay. But I'm guessing my attack speed goes down to like almost 2 entire rounds. 20 odds. That's my back of the napkin calculation with 0 thought put into it, but regardless, it's going to be less than ideal. Not great. Well, after getting the wonderful gold dragon scales on our previous and relatively recent troll run, and now this one, I'm definitely a believer in acquirement scrolls again. No longer scrolls of disappointment. Unless, you know, this one kind of is. It's like subtle disappointment almost. Because it looks amazing, and I got really excited. Brain started firing off, heart started going. And then I kind of let reality come in, hit me, and realized that it's actually not fantastic. A heavy hand crossbow, though. If we want to keep in our one-handed ranged weapon and shield strategy, I think I'm at least going to grab it. Might not even pick it up for now, but just have that available if I can remember it's here at least. That kind of game, so many cool things that you could have had with a high-strength melee character. Yeah, right? It's always the question of the what-ifs, but regardless, we'll just keep on keeping on. I mean, I really don't have too much to complain about at the moment. We are still doing fairly well and can hopefully keep that up as we go forward here. The helmet, the greatsword, the armor, what could have been in another lifetime. I guess all those things, even if you change species, do all those things stay consistent if you use the seed? Because if so, I mean, acquirement, I don't think so. But everything we found on the floor, so helmet and greatsword, yes. If so, I mean, it's right there. But okie dokie. Regardless, we've managed to finish off Lair for the moment here. Fantastic stuff. I guess I might go to Orc next. It's tempting to jump straight into our S branches. I guess we could finish off the last few floors of the regular dungeon as well. The one issue with Orc, of course, is if it's just top to the brim with smite casters, then We may immediately regret our decisions here, but barring that, should have an alright time, all things considered. Let's see, Arbalist, glowing short bow. I could be tempted, for sure. Does mean we lose our shield, but that's not the end of the world by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think there's like any chance of confusion. Okay, good. Otherwise, I would have been making a terrible, terrible mistake in my order of operations here. Let's actually just take you upstairs, my friend. Then the rest of these kiddos we can probably just take care of without needing to do too much kiting. It's tempting to, you know, if you got the speed, use it, but we'll just err on the side of incaution and instead just run face first into every potential issue the world could throw at us. You know, I think I should just run away. This son of a gun walks super quick between strikes here, and we might as well, oh, especially as I take a bunch of damage from the Six Fury maybe? Is it even worth it to go back now, or do I wait? Let's just do a quick peek. I imagine we have plenty of turns. Yeah, 26,000. Many turns, just because I want to wait out 100 here. Make sure all those summons have been taken care of before we jump back into it and see if we can't focus down our priestly son of a gun a little bit quicker. Beautiful. At least we don't need to worry about the paralyzed ruining our lives here, so we can get a little bit frisky, a little bit risky, and see what happens, shall we? Man, this is Orc 1? What a wild Orc 1 this is. As I stand in the middle of a smorgasbord of orcs here. Just relying on pure luck, hoping our evasion keeps us in one piece. And I mean, it did, but definitely not our best bet. Talking about not our best bet, this son of a gun has repel missiles, and I'm engaging in a ranged battle here. Hopefully I can out-heal. Not really ideal. Because Wall of Briars still could just miss my Briars, and that's almost the worst case scenario, but oh, happens to work out. What an interesting Orc 1 this has been. It's been full of mainly enemies I'd expect to see in Orc 2, or as we saw just a short moment ago, Elf even. Oh my gosh, yeah, even a gosh darn Warlord. At least you don't have repel missiles, so I feel a little bit safer wouldn't be the right word, but a bit more confident trying to fight you, warranted or not. The confidence, that is. Back myself in a corner, so that's good. Takes 30 damage in one hit, a little bit. Yeah, exactly, you know? All a calculated risk, of course. In no way just a stupid mistake on my part. But okay, I don't think you can one-shot me at least, so we can do a little bit of a dance. There we go, beautiful. Scimitar that we'll never use, especially with the egos on it. Arbalist of Flaming. Arbalist is slightly tempting. Again, swap away from the shield. Go for a bit more of a pure glass cannon build. Let's think about this slightly. Still would need to train more to get to min delay. That's fine. Troll armor slightly slows our attacks as well, so that's not ideal. But 43 damage rating is tough to argue with. On the other hand, we're firing not that much faster, still pretty much just once per turn. And 23. That one is a tough sell. Maybe what we'll do is start training ranged weapons again. Let's bring it up to 18 so we at least have the option to do an Arbalist exchange in the future, seeing as how it might be prudent to do so once we start hitting enemies that have a bit of a tougher skin to puncture through here. But I think otherwise I'm feeling okay to continue down to Orc 2 here. I guess abundantly evident by the fact that here we are on Orc 2. What I may do, though, is once we've cleared out a little bit here, gotten our foothold, I do need to take just a short intermission here to feed Doggo. Be just in the next few minutes here. We'll see how it goes. I mean, ideally, I can just pretty much finish the floor in that time. Let's see how everything shakes out, shall we? Power out later, Torinski. Oh no! Well, best of luck. I hope power comes back. I don't know if you can still hear me here, but just thank you for joining and saying hello. Always nice to see you, friend. And yeah, have a great week. I'll see you around. Okay, Mighted Warrior. Good, we did manage to take them out, and then we can focus on our knightly friend here. Not too shabby. And beautiful. Well, can't complain too much. Oh, until an Orc High Priest comes into the mix, and then I take it back. I can, in fact, complain, and I will do so. Maybe see as these Sons of Guns kind of filter through the opening, a few at a time. Seems to be working out for us so far. Yeah, we did manage to take care of the High Priest, and that was definitely the most worrisome of the collection that we had to contend with here at the moment. And otherwise, let's just keep blasting through these Sons of Guns, shall we? Yeah, okay. That's a lot of smiters, as well as a polearm user. I can just... If I can kill the smiters... No guarantee. I mean, I could actually just die, so I think I do heal up here, unfortunately. Terrible decisions were made on my part, but again, such is life. And there we go, it's stabilized again, so therefore it kind of gives us the illusion that we've chosen correctly, even though obviously we did spend a consumable to survive the fight, so that alone is a bit of an indication that it was maybe not the best course of action. But when would we ever rely on critical thought or analysis when we could instead just go by feel and hubris and just believe that we are the chosen one here, the hero of our own story, and protagonists. You know, I was gonna say never die, but more truthfully is probably that protagonists never die without very good reason. And you know, at this moment in time, I don't see any reasons. So, therefore, ipso facto, we'll be fine, right? But no, there we go. We do manage to clear out our orc, so I think I will do one quick find, look on the floor here. +2 robe of fire resistance. Could just get more fire resistance. It's not terrible. Take a mental note. Try not to forget for later. We have that available if we need it. If for some crazy reason we get an even more ridiculous ring that we want to swap out our current one with, that could work out. But okie dokie. I will be taking that short break now. Just run out, feed Doggo. Maybe grab a drink to refill here. But shouldn't be long whatsoever. I'll see you in just a minute or two. And yeah, don't go anywhere. See you in a sec.